This music is making me feel. The feeling is making me sing. The singing now turns into music, y'all.
What's up, gamers? It's your boy, and in today's video, I'm bringing you some of my PvP gameplays. And I actually recorded some gameplay before this, but my files did not save or something, so that sucks. But anyway, I'm looking to take advantage with the elemental damage between either using Sand Ruby or my Venom. All depends on the opponent's setup. So right off the back, I see my opponent has no front line, and I'm going to try to use my Sand Ruby's fire elemental advantage to take out his Venom first, because Venom can be problematic sometimes in PvP with her stun, not to mention her great damage. And as I look around and try to find him, I see that I am being targeted hard by his manual control player, so I move around here trying to get my Venom to take some of the damage, and I get off a few shots and I see that I'm just going to be taken down from the left by his burn. And by that time, I already took out the Venom, and I switch over to get the elemental advantage of my Venom onto his water heroes. And before I can really do too much damage with it, I get taken out because he has no front line guy, he's all damage. But we're down 2-2 here, 2 versus 2, and I have a front line and my support. And Overgrowth is a really good support with his healing ability, and he does damage. So I decided to, even though it's not the elemental advantage, I decided to help take out the bird first, just so I can just 2v1 and get my take up there to actually go and take down his spike. And Overgrowth is actually one of my favorite heroes because, as you can see, even if he's died, his second skill, his heal, still persists on through the battles, and that's in every game mode. So even though I got the victory there, I took way too many casualties for my liking because his targeting was perfect. He was straight for my damage dealer. That's something you need to do in PvP, guys. Do not just manually or auto your PvPs. You need to manually control your heroes. Moving on, as I look at his front line, I'm going to continue to go with my strategy and use my Sand Ruby for the elemental advantage over his nature comp. And there's no water element, so I'm feeling very confident. Off the back, I find one of his nature creatures and immediately begin to target her, get that elemental advantage, and immediately try to move over and find Venom to see where she's hiding. And I could take my elemental advantage over Partisan. My strategy is to take out the damage dealer and just let, even though my ram died, my strategy is to let my tanks just do their thing, and I try to take out the back line as fast as possible. And I don't know if this guy is manually controlling or auto playing, but for some reason his indicator was on his frontline ram, and that, in my opinion, guys, is not what you want to do. Let the tanks do their job, and you take control of one of your damage dealers and try to dish out as much damage to their damage dealers as fast as possible and try to get the win. And as you notice, as I show my stats at the end of the game, my Sand Ruby is not really doing too much damage, but that's okay because I'm only using it for the CC. But my ram has died twice now, so I decided to switch it out and try to go one tank, and I put in Aurora for her heal, so I'm trying to do a double heal and keep my tank alive. Actually triple heal because I have Overgrowth in the background as well. Okay, so looking at my opponent's comp, I could try to take out his bird first, but I'm going to actually go to my bird and stick to my first strategy of trying to take out his nature creatures first because he has more of a nature comp than he does fire element. So right off the rip, I'm able to find my elemental advantage, and I see he's also manually controlling his bird, so it's actually a race with damage here. As you can see, my Ugu is dying because I'm only running one tank. Again, I'm relying on my healers to keep him alive and also his healers to keep himself alive. And I find my elemental advantage as my skill get interrupted right there. I find my elemental advantage again and immediately just go in. And down to, is that a 3v1, 4v1? And that's another victory for me. And if you remember my stats earlier, clearly my burn does way more damage than my Sand Ruby. So it might be better for me to run burn with my first comp. But the reason I use Ruby is because of her 6-second CC. And because of his long ass cooldown time, I actually haven't got to use her stun yet, but it does come in handy from time to time. So I'm still sticking to my 1 take 3 healer comp. And this guy is majority nature, so I'm going to continue to take my elemental advantage with Bird as I try to find weak Venom, but I couldn't, so I just stick to my elemental advantage here and try to take her out as quickly as possible. And I start taking damage back, but because of my elemental advantage, I'm not really too much worried about the damage I put. I finally found my target, but because I have my second skill up, I immediately go to the front line and try to finish out the already low heroes, and this is just another win for me, guys. And my Ugu actually survived this time, and that's what I try to accomplish with my 1 take 3 healer comp there. And I get MVP with Burn, even though Venom is probably my strongest single target damage dealer because I'm choosing my targets wisely. So looking at my opponent comp here, I see he's only running 1 heavy damage dealer, which is technically Burn, and he's going to rely on his frontline CC and his backline CC, his support healers, to get him through this match. So immediately I switch to Venom and try to get the elemental advantage over his healer, because if I do not take out one of these CC heroes, I'm going to lose this match. And as you can see, she has one of the fastest heals in the game as I'm being targeted, so I try to move. And I know because I'm being targeted, I'm not going to be able to finish off his healer, so I take my elemental advantage over the tank instead and try to pull something off. But because, as you can see, his healer is still alive, there's no way I'm going to make this comeback, and he just finished me off. And one thing to learn from me getting my ass kicked here is to not underestimate the supports, because they did mad work for him in getting this victory, as I just get completely owned for the rest of this match. I think maybe if I had my 2 front lines set up, that I could have possibly pulled out the victory, or at least did better, but he just completely wrecked me here. So after getting completely wiped out right there, my Ugu is down to his last life, so I'm going to throw back in my Ram since he's on his last life, and I'm going to continue to run with my Ruby instead of my Burn because of that CC. And as you can see, CC is CC's turned the tide of the battle when it comes to PvP, because that last match I got stunned, he got healed, the shields, it was just a massacre for me. Anyway, moving on, immediately I see that he has a Stratus, and I'm going to fucking find that bitch, target that bitch, and try to take her out as fast as possible, because the damage she can do, especially as a 5-star hero, is completely insane. She can one-shot, so she's done. And he has 2 water elementals left, so I just go ahead and switch over to my Venom, take my elemental advantage, and get this match done for. And pick up the easy win. On top of that, both of my front lines survived, so that's a major victory for me as I continue to try to get some of these PvP chests and continue to climb that leaderboard. And speaking of PvP chests, I find that my rewards are mainly Burn and Ugu fragments. So let me know in the comments, what did you guys mainly get from your rewards of your PvP chests, because I'm actually tired of getting the same fragments. But moving on, and right here, I notice I'm up against another Stratus, and I scan, try to make my reason, find her, quickly try to take her out, but it's too late. Her damage is insane. She already takes out my overgrowth, and then my Sand Ruby goes down as well, and it just goes downhill from there. My last resort of strategy I had in mind was to switch over to my Venom and try to finish off the Stratus, but because Ram is in my fucking face here, I can't do that, and it's just whatever. This is a loss for me, clearly. I will say this, I don't think that she's overpowered. I don't think any hero is overpowered in this game. But because she's automatically or already a 5-star hero, she has the advantage over my Ruby, who doesn't do that much damage starting off. Because I don't have the best Sand Ruby, guys. I don't. But because of the 6-second stun, that's the only reason I run her with this comp. Maybe if I had Burn, I could have did. Just look at the fucking damage she puts out, man. That's insane. But yeah, I don't think she's overpowered. I think if my Ruby was better, then I could have done better. But moving on, my usual front lines are down, so I put in Burn as my fire damage and Partisan as my last front line. get my healer in, and I'm making a decision to either run another fire damage or water damage. So I'm going to go ahead and put in Spike just so that I can have an elemental advantage all around, just in case I need one. And I'm really not too confident in my comp here because my Partisan is a good front line, but my Partisan is just not up to par when it comes to gear and max skills. So sticking to my strategy, I notice he has a nature comp, so I'm going to continue to use my burn as I find his overgrowth here immediately and take my, I believe, a 1.5 damage multiplier over the nature damage. And I don't usually target the tank here, guys, but I noticed my Partisan was dying, so it was just a battle of who tank or front line dies first, and that's why I went ahead and took out his front line. And it's not the best victory for me, but because I'm confident in my burn and my elemental advantage, so this is just an easy win for me as I get stunned out right there. And that's why Venom can be very problematic, but instead of using my skill right there, I just go ahead and continue to dish out damage with my basic attacks. And look at my spike damage, it looks absolutely atrocious. But don't get me wrong, I actually think Spike is a good hero in my opinion. You know, my Spike is an embarrassment to all Spikes out there. And that's going to be the end of my PvP run because I lost my healer in that last match as I get my last chest for the day. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys use as your strategies for PvP? And peace out, gamers. Hope you enjoy.